Very good morning to everyone. As part of our Python learning journey, we are moving towards our next milestone. We are going to exchange messages, packet between Python software nodes, right? So we want to exchange information between two software nodes, right? For that, we need a CAN hardware right now. See, when we want to exchange CAN packets between two ECUs, we should have a CAN hardware through which only we can exchange packets, right? That is in real time. When it comes to software, we need some sort of mechanism which facilitate that exchange. Not 100% equivalent to real time, but somewhat whatever the feature that we have in the CAN hardware, that should be available. Only then we can mimic the real-time environment in our disk, right? That is what the thing. See, in CAN hardware, I believe those who attended my CAN training, right? That is the training about software system testing. Those candidates know about it. When we want to do any network analysis, we need some sort of network analysis tool, right? That tool require a CAN hardware, right? Through which only it used to exchange the CAN packet from the PC to the external ECU, right? When it is transmitting packets from the PC, from the simulation, it used to queue them in the hardware. That packets will be queued in the CAN hardware, because every CAN hardware as well as every CAN ECU used to have transmit queue and receive queue, right? The transmit queue will have the packet to be transmitted, and the receive queue will have the packet received from the outside world, digitized packets, right? That is how we used to have. So that only then we can, then the arranged packet, that means queued packet, will be transmitted one by one via CAN hardware. That is how the things works, right? But when we want to do such a exchange in the simulation, we need a queue structure. We have to arrange our packets in queue in every software node, and then how to exchange them with the other nodes, right? Do we have, can we make such a provision in Python? Can we make queues in Python? Yes, we can do so. It is not a rocket science. We can create queues in Python. It is a little bit time consuming, and it involves a lot of programming, right? Only then we can achieve that. But there are certain ready-made packages or ready-made software, or those are free, available in the market. We can simply use them in the initial phase. Our goal is we need to have everything in Python. Maybe we will achieve that one day. But at present, we have some ready-made work which is available at free of cost. We are going to use them for our CAN packet exchange between Python nodes, because each node going to be a Python program, right? These Python programs want to exchange packet in between them. That should be a reliable communication. There should not be any missing of packets. Those should not happen, right? For that, there is a open source software available called Rabbitmq, right? Using that, we can define queues, and then we can exchange the information that we want to exchange with other nodes in those queues. Then the other node can pick the messages from the queue and use it. So it's just something similar to producer consumer problem. Node which is generating packets is a producer and one who consumes is a receiver. In between them, we are going to place a RabbitMQ intermediator, which is going to define and manage queues. So using that, we can define queues and we can manage it. Right. So this is just like another this minimize. Why I have to go for RabbitMQ? Why don't I do it by defining the queue by myself and do yes, that is possible to do so in even in Python, but it need lot of programming at this stage. Earlier, we are in a very beginning stage right now. So for in this moment, it is not right option to go and spending our time with programming a queue. That's why we use this RabbitMQ software, right? It is free. I will explain you how to download it and install all those stuff. In order to mimic, can transmit and receive queue, we are going to use RabbitMQ. That is what the thing. So now we are somehow we are moving towards somehow the realistic packet exchange. In the previous session, I just printed the package periodically, a CAN packet periodically. Now our goal is transmit that packet somehow using one program to another program via RabbitMQ. That is the goal, right? Here is a diagram how the packets going to be exchanged. So we are going to get packets from the nodes that want to transmit in the RabbitMQ queue. And then from there, that will be fetched by other nodes. That means other Python programs that we have in our simulation. Right. That's how it is. How to download RabbitMQ? In order to install RabbitMQ, you need Erlang is another language that is also a free. So you can download that from this website. You have to install Erlang first before you install RabbitMQ. So it is a dependency. It is a dependency of RabbitMQ that you should have Erlang first in your PC right now. Let me explain you how to download Erlang in my laptop. For that, go to this website. Maybe I think we can. See here, this is the official Erlang website. Here we can download Windows installer, right? Maybe in my PC is 64-bit. If yours is 32, you can download 32. From my view, I have downloaded Erlang before. That is there in my download folder. So let me install that from my download folder. Okay, we have installed Erlang now. So after installing Erlang, we have to install RabbitMQ. To download RabbitMQ, you go here. Like this is the website to download RabbitMQ. So this is the official website to download RabbitMQ. Here you download Windows installer. Like when you download this, when you hit this, you will download Windows installer. Once you download it, I already downloaded that. You will get a package like this. To install RabbitMQ, after you download RabbitMQ package, you just run this as an administrator. So it will ask something and it will show the default installation folder. Okay, team. Now to check the RabbitMQ server is running, go for services. and search for Rabbitmq. So it is running. Okay. With the default configuration, it is running. We have to configure this Rabbitmq. In order to configure Rabbitmq, we have to, one sec. We have to type a command in command line. So just me open my right. So this is the command that we have to run it in command prompt. For that, let me go to command prompt, rabbitmq command prompt. Right. Just I say yes. Here it is. So now I am going to run this command, rabbitmq plugins dot batch list. This will list out all the plugins that is available. So they put that E star, which means that it is not enabled or not enabled, not yet confirmed. So to enable them, we just use another command, rabbitmq plugins dot bat enable rabbitmq management. So this will help us to enable. Okay, so okay, let me check that now. Okay, they are still A star. Probably they are enabled, I believe. Let us check that in the browser. Okay, here you feed Gust and username as Gust and this password as Gust. Okay, if you do so, you will get a dashboard which to manage your Rabbitmq connection and traffic and other stuff. You can see them here. Okay, as of now, let us now the Rabbitmq is ready. So to installing Pika, we have a command here, Python -m pip install Pika. So when you install like that, you will get Pika.